but this actually took 3 days to get this lot together. I have some 2-stroke oil. Yeah, made by Draper, good quality stuff. Now some 2-stroke oil that I'm going to put into the fuel. We've got some Castrol Magnatec oil there for lubricating the moving parts. I spoke to my father-in-law. He used to have a static stationary engine that he used to take to shows. He recommended Magnatec. I had a bit of that in the garage. And this is the Coleman's fuel. This is the gasoline, if you like, the petrol that we're going to be using. That's little tiny fuel tank. So, and also, yeah, 3 AA batteries there, Amazon basic batteries, they'll be fine. So what I have to do now is condense all this down into some small little bottles that I need to go and find, and then we can get on and well, get it lubricated. Let's get it running. I can't wait. I hope it runs. I'm really excited. Got the Coleman's lighter fuel there, or camping fuel if you like, in the brown bottle, and we have some 2-stroke oil. Now I'm not quite sure really how much to put in. I've not really had a moped before. I don't want to put a lot in because it will cause fouling of the plug and it will get sooty inside the cylinder. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops in. Hopefully that will be enough. I don't want to overdo it, but on the other hand we need to keep the cylinder lubricated. It's about 3 drops. I think that will stick with that. We're not going to be running the engine for any length of time today, so hopefully I'll give that a good mix in there. So never owned a moped before, 2-stroke moped. I don't really know how much you really should be putting in, but right, there we go. Let's give that a good mix. Right, so the next thing is to get the fuel there into the tank. Now, I have got a syringe, which I was hoping to syringe it in, so we'll give that a go. Otherwise, I have to look for a very, very small funnel. Just before I put fuel in the tank, as I've got to turn the engine upside down, I don't know if the fuel will flow out. We've just got to put the batteries now in for the buzz coil, if you like, ignition system. So just using pretty basic alkaline batteries. I think they're alkaline. I don't suppose it really matters too much. There we go. That's the 3 batteries there. Close the little lid of the box. Only other problem I'm going to have is I've read the instructions and it doesn't tell you which way the switch works for the ignition on or off. It came preset on that setting there, and I've got a feeling that may be on because it would have been run at the factory to test it. So in a minute we'll try and start it with it over to the left, and if not we can put it back to the right. But I think the next job is going to be to add some fuel. Not quite sure how much this is going to take. We've got 10 millilitres here in this syringe. So let's put that into the tank and see what happens. That's a bit stiffer than I thought it would be. Okay, I can immediately see a problem in the respect that I've got a air bubble now in the fuel line, and that going into the carburettor, that isn't going to do that any favours. So that's something that I'm going to probably have to pull that tube out and then just bleed that through in a moment, just to make sure we've got no air going into the carburettor, because that won't work very well, will it? Alright, okay, you bear with me. There we go. I think that's full up. I think that was about 18... Yeah, around about 18 millilitres there, and I think that's completely full. I just need to take that pipe off there and bleed that pipe through. There we go, a bit of a waste of fuel, but that's it, that's got the air bubble out of that pipe. It's going to be a messy thing, this. I mean, you've got to think of with all the oil and everything, when it's running, it's a complete waste of oil. It's going to splash oil around all over the place. And it's not going to be a show machine, that's for sure. Right, let me just tidy up, and then we go around and give it an oil, all the moving parts. I'll do that at high speed, and then we can see if we can start the thing. Right, that's everything oiled. Done the water jacket. So according to instructions, this side needs to rotate in an anti-clockwise direction. And I'm going to try the little T-bar starter thing. So I think, is it that way round? Is that how it goes? That would be anti-clockwise, wouldn't it? Yeah. Right. I'm not sure about this ignition switch, which way it's going to have to go. But anyway. Let's give it a go and see what happens. Well, yeah, no fire there, was it? Okay, I'm going to try the same thing again, but this time we're going to put the switch. There we go, put it in the other direction. It doesn't say that in instructions, which is a little bit disconcerting. I've gone the wrong way, I think, have I? It ran over nice though, even though it didn't fire. Right. Okie dokie. Anti-clockwise. 3, 2, 1. No fire. Okay, I'm going to try that switch the other way again, and then if it doesn't go again, I shall check my battery connections to make sure that they're okay. Right, 3, 2, 1. No fire. Right, okay, bit awkward now because I've got water in the engine itself. I'm going to go around, check my batteries to make sure that they're connected. Right, I'm just checking the batteries, and I think the batteries are okay. I'm still not sure which way that switch goes, which is a little bit worrying. Okay, turn it over. I've drained the water out, but I'll leave that for now. Check the HT lead. We have pulled that off. Actually, that's making a connection. Can't really see much in there, but hopefully that's just going to get a torch there, and I'm just going to check that HT lead. Can't see an awful lot in there, to be honest. I think it's just glued in with silicone, so okay, assume that's going to work. Okay. So it says an anti-clockwise, which is that way direction. Anti-clockwise it is. And so just not sure that switch on or off. Probably could go and watch a video on YouTube, which I might have to end up doing if this doesn't start, because I think that will probably give me an indication. I might just be doing something a little bit wrong. Let's give it another couple of goes. I'm not going to be a defeatist. Right, that's anti-clockwise. We'll put that switch in that direction. Let's give it a yank. And there we go. Try to switch the other way. Got fuel going into the carburetor. Okay. No go. Okay, let's have another couple of goes. Then I might just have to call upon YouTube. There's a couple of videos of people starting these. Just check that I'm doing it the right way and everything. Fuel, no air in the fuel line. No, not a spark. Everything seems to be working okay. You can see the inlet valve opening. Of course, it might have been flooded because I was rotating it by hand a lot, wasn't I, to do the fueling there. So I suppose it's potentially could be flooded up. I can always take the spark plug out and check there's fuel. Certainly got compression. Let's give it another go. No fire. Right, back again. So after watching some very good YouTube footage, I've established that the switch needs to be in that position there. And I've also adjusted the HT lead on the spark plug. It's I think it's making contact now. I wasn't all that sure that it was making contact. So I'm going to have another go, and I was rotating it in the right direction. It is an anti-clockwise pull on the starter cord there. So I did get that bit right. And I also have watched other people, and other people have had a few issues with starting the motor itself. They've said if it doesn't start, you have to start adjusting the little needle valve on the carburetor. But hopefully this was tested at the factory, though I can't see any soot on the exhaust, which is a bit unusual. But let's give it another couple of goes. Rome wasn't built in a day, was it? Right, so that's now switched on that side. Let's give it a go. Whoa! Did you see that? A misfire. Did you see that? It fired. So I know I've got the ignition right. For that to backfire, that was quite good. Alright, but I wonder if the mixture's a bit too rich. No air in the fuel line. Okie dokie. Well, I like the sound of that. It is alive. It wants to go. Let's give it another go, shall we? Oh, it didn't fire that time. That was hopeful, wasn't it? There's no real adjustment on the timing. It's purely on the fuel mixture. Check that HT lead. I'm not sure about this HT lead on that spark plug. I might have to have a look at that in a minute. Right, here we go again. Yeah, no fire there. Right. So let's turn the needle in. It's fully closed. Alright, yeah, so that's set on about 1/4, which is what they reckon. That might go a little more. Actually, it was set on 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to set it on 1/4, work on the basis that it may have been a little bit rich. Right, okay, I'm going to set us on 1/4 now. Okie dokie, that feels a bit better. Alright, here we go. Nope, no fire there. Okie dokie, let's give it a little bit of a turn. Let's come out a little bit more. Split the difference from what it was on the factory. Do you know, I'm still not entirely happy about that HT lead. I know it looks like a spark plug HT lead, but I'm still not. I think if that was just a crocodile clip, I'd be probably happier that it was making contact with the end of the spark plug there. Right, okie dokie. Switch is on, ignition is on. I get it to make sure we're in camera, because if this does go on it. Right, here we go then, let's hit it. Oh, it fired! Did you see that? It kicked. The little girl kicked. So I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to give it another spin over, just in case it was flooded. And let's see if it goes this time. It definitely fired though. Didn't that time though. Switch the ignition off. Done. I showed some way of testing that spark plug. I'm not taking it out, but if that was a car, I'd be taking that spark plug out now. Okie dokie, let's give it a go on that. No fire. I think, do you know what? I think that carburettor is bloody sensitive for something that's quite so small. I think it really is very sensitive. I think that's going to be a lot of iggity pokety, fiddly diddly adjustment. Right, I know I said it, but one more go, and then I must go and do some stuff, and I can come back and have another go in a minute. Right, ignition on, blah 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 blah. Okie doke, let's go. No fire. Do you know, I'm still not convinced about this lead. It's weird, isn't it? I'd expect it, even if it was running rich, I'd expect it to fire, kick and spurt and complain. But anyway, right, I'm going to stop for the minute. I'll be coming back, straight back on video. We will get there, I promise you. And anyway, I'm going to go and do a few things. Back in a bit. Looking at this problem a little bit more closely, one thing I've noticed is that the inlet valve here is really close to the HT cap on the plug lead, and I think it's slightly catching. What I've done, I've lubricated this with a little bit more oil, but yeah, I do believe, and I think looking at the lead here, it's hard to see, but I think there's been a bit of a, I think they've actually got a knife and they've slightly cut that. So if that's, I think that needs to be in that position so that the valve clears it. I think that's a slight design fault on this new HT lead design. And if that was catching the valve and the valve wasn't closing, then you would got no compression and no start. So I think I've fixed that. And yeah, maybe give it another go now. Right, you bored yet? Okay, I really do think that might have been an issue. That valve now is completely free. If that was failing it, you wouldn't have got compression. Right, switch the ignition on. Check we've got fuel. And fingers crossed, you never know. It's nice to find something wrong, I tell you. It's like any job, any car, radio, anything. If you find something wrong, it gives you a little bit more hope. Right, I've got the needle setting just a little bit richer than it came from the factory there. So it's got a little bit of soot coming out where it fired a little while ago. Right, here we go, we're on camera, camera's rolling. Okie dokie, take 20, no idea which one. Right, here we go. Oh, it's firing! It's running! Oh, it's running! Oh, brilliant! So, yeah, see it kick around the desk, but, so yeah, it was that lead then, it was that HT lead, just causing a problem, and there it goes. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, it smells nice as well. We're going to put some water in. There we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. So if I put some load on it, it should increase the speed. There it goes. Let's turn it around a little bit. Whoa, it's got some torque. There we go, and now we can see all of the governor working now. It's jumping off the bench. Definitely needs to be held down a bit more secure. And there she runs. Light in a bit more. turn the ignition off. Yes! Right, fantastic, it runs. So it was purely just that failing there of the valve there. And, oh, amazing, isn't it? You can see the soot coming out of the exhaust there. It's not going to be a showpiece, is it? So yeah, they'd cut a little bit on that HT lead. And when I pulled it off to have a look at it, had it in the wrong setting. I'm just going to try and weaken the mixture a little bit. There we go. And just see how it starts. Let's see how it starts with slightly weaker mixture, but made up. Fantastic. Let me just zoom out a little bit. So it shouldn't need much of a pull now. Here we go. Oh, okay, yeah. It does help if you get the rope on the pulley there, Fred. Getting too excited like I always do. Okie dokie, let's see if it starts again. Let's get this nice and tight. It doesn't need a lot of RPM, I don't think, really. It started quite easy. There she goes. Fantastic. Unbelievable. And there we go. Well, I'm made up. Absolutely made up. Jumps about a bit. CD governor working there, just blocking the exhaust valve, stopping the compression. Running out of fuel. Just going to turn it off there before it completely runs out of fuel. So it's amazing. I'm absolutely made up. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. Smells nice. Smells well, it smells a bit like a 4-stroke petrol engine, to be honest. But yeah, there you go. Just that little lead then was causing me the problems. And yeah, it's running really, really nice now. Splashing water around it needs to be secured on a base. Going to have to do that, but that's all going to come up in Fred in his Shed 1. This was just getting it going, and yeah, there we go. So that's it. I think they're running out of fuel, and I've left the carburettor. Well, you can't see that so much, but I've left it. It's actually set at the factory setting, so it was just that lead causing me a problem. It's a bit sooty. The exhaust, it's not hot. It's not hot at all. It runs at such low RPM, but yeah, the exhaust coming out is a little bit sooty. I think a nice stack exhaust would be nice. I'll have to see if they do any accessories. And often people make their own accessories that they sell. They do that on steam engines, so I'll just have to check. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit long, and it was probably a bit frustrating for you guys. It was kind of frustrating for me, but I'm pleased that I've got it running. And yeah, I'm going to go to bed very happy tonight and try and work out where I'm going to do with the bass. So there you go, Fred in the Shed 2, of course, always an ad-lib video, straight off the cuff, very little editing. That's what you get. You get a bit more me, if you like. And I hope you enjoyed that. I thoroughly did. There's the thumbs up. Please give the old video the thumbs up. Helps the channel. And fantastic. There we go. Hit and miss engine. Absolutely made up. Cheers. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you all on the next one.